I'm Larry Lawton, and I made millions as an illegal bookie. I grew up in a very mob-related neighborhood, and my mom actually took care of one of the big mobsters when his car blew up. We started gambling at a very young age. My dad used to take me Saturdays and Sundays, because it's football days, to the old school gangster bar, Bronx, New York. The place was so great, that bar. I remember when they had an old guy in there. It had a guy who couldn't read. And I'm watching the old men, and they're all laughing and looking at the window. What they did was they gave this guy who couldn't read a note and said, hey, we need some change. Go to the bank across the street. But it was really a note. This is a sticker. Give us all your money. So they're all left and waiting, and we watch the guy go across. I'm out there, I'm a little kid, you know, at the window. And he goes to into the bank. All of a sudden, they're starting to laugh. Oh, shit, people talking, they're laughing. And now a couple guys are out front of the bar. Cops come, you see them race to the place. The cops look over to the bar, and they shake their head, and they knew. Today, you'd all be in prison. Everybody would be in prison. They let the guy go, and they walked over. Come on, leave these fucking guys alone, you know? My dad says, do you want to make a bet at a game? I said, yeah. And he gives his $5, and he gives me 50 cents. I mean, what's $5.50? I'm making a $5 bet. He goes,
this is for the VIG.
Well, explain VIG to a 11-year-old, 10-year-old, you know, and it's, that's the interest. That's how the bookie makes his money. I'll never forget this. I go into the bar, and that's where Vinny the bookie, I'm talking about a guy out of Central Casting. Got the hat, that's the guy, he's looking like that. He goes, what do you want, kid? And I go, the Giants, one time. And he takes out a pad, and he writes it down. All right, you're in. And I'm watching gambling going on. I'm watching how my dad interacted with other people, and I loved it. I had an old time, but give me a drink at like 13. I got in that at that young age because I wanted to be around that kind of life. It's fast, it's lucrative, and we all had hustles. Well, gambling became my hustle. I started running football tickets at 12 years old. Let me explain football tickets. Football tickets where you pick 3 teams, you bet $1, and you'll win $5 if those 3 teams win. So you circle your number, your name, how much you want, and I will pick that up. And I got 25% off the top. When I got them, I'd run around the whole neighborhood, give the tickets out. They were waiting for me. I had clients. So I do that, and I got so good at that, you would get guys to say to you, hey, where else could I put a bet in? And I got so deep into the gambling game, I ended up being even a bookie. A bookie is a person who takes a bet from a person, and you have to pay a 10% VIG to do that. The guy who accepts that 10% VIG is the bookie. Every bookie's goal is to go 50-50, and they win on the VIG. If I have $100,000 on this team, and I have $100,000 on this team, I make 10%. 10 grand. I don't care who wins. That's down the line how I ended up working for the biggest bookie in all of New York, who was called Mac. And I learned the game deeper of the bookmaking game from Mac the bookie. During the day, I would work for Mac, taking nickels and dimes. In gambling parlance, that means a $500 bet's a nickel. A dime is a $1,000 bet. Mac used to sit at the table. I'm behind the bar. People come in, they get, hey, lad, what's the line of the game? They take their money, boom, boom, boom. But Mac was so smart. He knew their betting patterns. He knew when they were chasing money. There were guys who'd say, this guy's smart. This guy can hurt you. And I'm seeing the money made in gambling. It's just astronomical. Booking goes into loan sharking. A bookie is the casino. Loan sharking is the bank. You loan somebody money for an interest rate. You don't need paperwork. You don't need to fill out an application. You have a talk with them. If you don't pay, it can get bad. You're gonna always run into a guy who doesn't pay. And that was kind of my sickness that I said, okay, you wanna try me? We're gonna fucking try me. When people didn't pay, that meant trouble, and I had to make them pay. But a loan shark loans you money at 3%. So if I lent you $10,000, you gotta give me $300 every Friday. And it does not come off that principle. Give a guy $20,000, it's double, 600, 3%. But every Friday. If people didn't pay and my word was on it, you didn't want to run across me. I took a boat out of a guy's yard. $60,000 boat. It's hooked up on a trailer. It's mine. I don't want it. I'll give it back when you give me my money. I tortured a guy with an iron. Psst, screaming like fucking crazy. He's going nuts. He's going, ah! He paid. Listen, I never wanted to hurt anybody. I really did. I don't want to kill anybody. I hurt people, but you were in my business if I hurt you. I never hurt a civilian, let me put it that way, ever. Things were getting crazy in New York. It was time to get away. I went to Florida in 1987 to build an empire. I ended up opening a pizzeria. I love pizza, my favorite food. But what does Larry do? Larry starts taking action out of the pizzeria. Best way to get connections in any area you go to, start a bookmaking operation. Along with the football operation, which is straight betting, which is parlays, if bets, round robins, the tickets. The boiler rooms made us more money. That's an operation that you'd have an apartment, and we'd have about 6 guys in there. We had 6 phones. The New York papers would have advertisements. They'd have these 800 numbers, and they'd charge you $1.99, you know, for an 800 call. Ask the expert. You get a phone call, you read the script. Now they're calling for $1.99 to get the best pick. Well, let me tell you how much bullshit that is. We literally had 2 scripts. If the Giants were playing the Jets, we had a script right here calling the Giants. The Giants have never lost when the temperature's over 50 degrees and they had a right-handed quarterback. They're all bullshit. And we do this opposite, guy. Same game. The Jets haven't won when it's over 50 degrees. Whatever the bullshit it was, total opposite. You want a game to be 50-50. Again, because the bookie gets 10%. After the end of that game, guess what? 50% people think you're smart and you won. And they call you back. So you're not only making money on the phone, you're also getting the guy hooked into your next operation. We had it all. I had the biggest bookmaking ticket operation the Southeast have ever seen. I was making 30 to 40,000 every week, $1.5 million a year, 2 million a year. I'm making so much money. I started to get a little bit nervous, and I want the protection of a family. I'm associated with the Gambino crime family, and I have a lot of connections. By giving them tribute or kicking money upstairs for 10%, I got the protection of that family. Dom was my ultimate boss. He's the captain of the crew, and I never screwed my boss. He got 10% of my take. But my life is about to be on the line. A friend of mine gets in debt and comes to me and says, I'm in trouble with gangsters out of South Florida. I owe 'em money.
Slow down. How much you owe him?
30 grand. They said they'd kill me. I said, let me make some phone calls. I find out it's true. They got this word on the street. They want to kill this fucking kid. I said, listen, I'm gonna go take care of this. Lay low until I talk to you. I go down to see the guy, the crew down there, and I'm known in South Florida. I didn't go there thinking any problems. This wasn't an official sit down where you have to, but listen, when you go and meet people about somebody and about money like that, it gets serious. Well, I have a kind of a short temper. And I went down to see him, and I says, hey, Jay, hello, everybody's sitting there. And I said, hey, listen, there's a guy here you guys have problems with. I got the money. I want to pay for him.
He's with me. He works for me.
They said,
nah, we're gonna kill him.
And I'm thinking, fuck, I need this kid. This kid makes money all the time. I know him with other people, know the family. I give you the money. Whatever vig you want, I'll give you the vig. Let's stop the shit. This guy worth me. He's with me.
Fuck that kid.
I get so fucking mad. They didn't touch the money. When I said, fuck you, he gets killed, someone in this room gets killed. And I fucking walk out of the room. And I'm a psycho now. And these are very important people. You don't shout at a made man. I screwed up. Before I got home, which was about 30 minutes, I get a phone call from my boss in New York. He says, Lawton, get home. I was in trouble. I go up to New York. I truly didn't know if I was gonna get out of there alive. That next morning, I saw Dominic. If I get a phone call, it says you're threatening to kill somebody. Are you fucking crazy? He goes, what happened? I tell him, I said, Dom,
I brought him the money. I gave it to him. I'm giving him what he wants.
don't kill the guy. I want to make money. We all making money. Why didn't you call me first?
What am I gonna call you for every little incident that needs to be taken care of?
He goes, this ain't no little incident. You better get that straight in your fucking head. You better fucking watch your mouth. Okay, Tom, I'm sorry, apologize. I'll take care of it.